While the battle against the Shadow Deep rages along the lines of the old beacon towers, you and your companions have made a huge discovery. Scouting the area behind Torvaden, you found a long, deep fissure that runs deep into the gloom of the Shadow Deep. Within this fissure is a rough and broken stairway. It seems too purposeful to be a natural occurrence, yet its rough surface and uneven, sloping steps argue against it being made by the hands of men. Reporting your find to your superiors, you quickly receive new orders. You are to lead your team down the stairs and penetrate as far as you can into the Shadow Deep. You will be the first warriors of Alador to enter the Cursed Realm, and any intelligence you can bring back will be of huge importance. And take any opportunity to strike against the enemy, but your primary goal is reconnaissance. Welcome to this Way to Fire YouTube video. And it's me, Andy, and I am playing some more Rangers of Shadow Deep. This time we are starting Mission 3 from the core rulebook, which is Descent into Darkness. And this is Scenario 1 from this mission, The Broken Stairs. Laden down with provisions for who knows if there is food or even drinkable water below, you start the treacherous descent of the stairs. In some places you move quickly, in others you must step lightly, checking your footing with each movement, as cracked and broken rocks crumble away. As you get lower, the air thickens and breathing becomes more difficult. Black ash floats in the breeze, filling your nostrils and stinging your eyes. You're just about to call for a break when you hear a loud buzzing noise, first from one direction and then from the other. You ready your weapons, just as the first bloated body comes flitting into view. Well, anyway, that's the backstory. This is Raniger Lackland. He is back again with his team, and so Raniger, just to go over things if you haven't remembered, he has some free heroic abilities, powerful blow, parry and roll with the punches, and he also has the heal spell. He also has a bow, which might be useful. Accompanying him we have on the left there Silent Mary. She is my rogue. Not sure it's going to be massively useful on this one, but she's quite fast, which is helpful because there's a lot of difficult terrain, so people will move more slowly when they're not on the path. And then next to her we have Brodin the Strong. Now Brodin started this little series of battle reports pretty strongly, but he's had a few ropey ones, to be honest. He needs to pick up the slack a little bit. Then we've got Tranich, my archer, and then we've got Hanath and Dardin. And again, Hanath started pretty ropey at the beginning of this series, and he has absolutely manned up in the last few, and Dardin's been pretty steady throughout, so they're both men-at-arms. So we will venture down this broken stairway and see what could be causing the droning sound. So here are Raniger Lackland's team of to support him as the ranger. They're about to head down the broken stairs. I'll look over the battlefield. It's a 2.5 foot battlefield. That's why it's a bit. I've trimmed this other mat. You can see that there are a number of fly holes, which I'm using these dead body piles from Shadows of Brimstone as markers for that. And each starts with a giant fly next to it, and these giant flies are very nice ones. These are the official ones from North Star. They're very good. And coming down the path here, we see another giant fly and fly hole on the other side of the table, and another one at the bottom. And here is the end where we are trying to get to. So we have to get all the way down. There is only one treasure on the table, just over there by that scrubby tree, and you have to imagine this is about a 60-degree angle with being higher at the top, and we are walking down the stairs. So to emphasize that, if I make a normal move on the stairway itself, that's fine, but if I ever try and take an additional move, then I will have to make a climb roll, only with a target number of 8, but if I fail, then I will immediately end my activation, and I will fall down the difference in the roll. and I will take damage accordingly. So that could be quite bad if I roll, you know, very low. I could take potentially, you know, 7 points of damage. I'll move down the table a bit, but I don't really want to move down the table a bit. Also, if I go off of the path at all, then it will count as difficult ground, so it will be twice, you know, every inch I move counts as 2 inches, so that's going to slow me down massively getting over to these fly holes, because I do actually want to get to the fly holes, because I can seal them with a fiery brand, and obviously there's some treasure as well I might want to get there. If I lose a combat as well, then I would have to make either a climb or acrobatics roll with a target number of 10. So it's a little bit harder, or again I will fall, which is not great. Although the flies are not the best fighters by any stretch. They have +0 in fight, they only have a health of 5 and an armor of 6. But they do cause disease with a target number of 8, so I don't really want to get hit by them because obviously I'd potentially get diseased, which is actually really annoying, particularly as there's rough ground. And of course I would potentially also fall down the hill. So I'll try probably to take them out with archery as much as possible. I only have a couple of archers and then one set of throwing knives. So we'll see how that goes. And obviously there are a whole bunch of events. There are actually 12 event cards. So, you know, lots of new things I'm sure will appear as the cards are drawn at the end of each round. Okay, we'll get started. So at the end of round 1, well, I'll just summarise what happened. So Raniger moved down and shot at the fly over here, but missed it. Tranic came down and shot at the fly that was by this second hole and killed it. Then Silent Mary came down and threw her throwing knives, managed to take out that fly. So cleared off 2 flies early doors. This fly moved up, the only remaining fly just moved towards me, and the rest of my team moved down, just staying safe, just taking one action to stay on the path. I will be a little braver when I get closer to the fly holes, but I don't want to fall over just yet. And then at the end of that round I have drawn card number 7, and that means I place another fly, one on number 1 and one on number 3. So there, I think that's the sort of pattern we're going to get, is these flies are going to keep coming at me. So as I'm closer to them now, they're a little bit more dangerous as well, but you know, we'll see how we get along. So in round 2 I got a little bit cocky. I wanted to move a little bit faster with Hanath, and he failed badly and slipped 5 inches down the slope, which is good because he moved down the table quick, but he took 5 wounds because of that. Then the 2 flies, one landed on Raniger, one went to Hanath, but they actually minced both of them, so they were destroyed. And I did a little bit more movement, and Brodin also slipped down the hill because he was trying to get over towards that fly hole there. So a little bit frustrating, but it's okay, it's okay. And I have drawn another card which gives me more flies. One at this one and one at number 2. So there are flies aplenty around us at the end of round 2. So start of round 3, Raniger moved down the hill, and instead of shooting his bow, which he's quite poor at, he actually healed the points, or the 5 points of wounds off of Hanath. And then Tranic moved down behind and shot the fly that was over there. Hanath then stood up and went charging towards this fly, engaged in combat and failed to kill it. Unfortunately, fortunately he didn't fall down the hill or get diseased. But then of course it's a creature phase, so that fly then attacked back and absolutely beasted Hanath, doing 7 points of damage on him. So Hanath certainly did need to be healed. That's a bit annoying, I'll be honest. Hopefully some of his friends will be able to save him from this fly. Yes, fly. And in the companion phase, Brodin moved over there and set fire to that fly hole. And here, Silent Mary came down to help Hanath, and she beasted that fly, so it is destroyed. And then I drew a card which put another fly onto fly hole 1, but of course fly hole 1 is no longer there, so it means that that is a null effect. So we're making good progress down the hill. 1 fly hole gone, 2 more to go, and a treasure token to get. So round 4, I activated a group action with Raniger, Tranic and Darden, and they all went and attacked this fly because it's the only enemy I had, and destroyed him. I couldn't really do much else. There wasn't anything to do with a bow. Sneak, I couldn't get to the treasure token anyway, so they just slaughtered him. So obviously there was no creature phase because there's no more flies. Then in the companion phase, Silent Mary set fire to this fly hole, and Hanath and Brodin have just moved back towards the path for a little bit safer passage. And at the end of round 4 we drew an event card which was to put another fly on hole 1. So again, no more flies for us. So no flies on me. Ha! So anyway, we'll keep walking down the hill. I'm sure there will be more things to come at us soon. So with no flies around, I've just made progress down the slope in turn 5. Darden has picked up the treasure. Brodin and Hanath and Silent Mary have rejoined the path. And Tranich and Ranaga are just sort of hanging around, sort of staying together in case flies appear. And then I drew an event card, and it was I passed a perception test for Hanath, and he spotted a corpse lying across away from the path. So we might investigate that. In round 6, Silent Mary went over to the corpse and said a prayer over his fallen body, but of course searched him for anything valuable and found a love letter and a potion of toughness, which is not bad. Ranaga and Darden are just heading towards this fly hole to finish off. There's still no enemies, of course, so the rest are just heading down the path. I'm going to certainly get Brodin and Hanath off the table as soon as possible because there are some risks. Because I just drew a jack, and a jack means there is a landslide. I randomly select 2 heroes, and they will suffer a +2 shooting attack as large boulders fall upon them. So, that's not good. 6 models. So 1 to 3, 4 to 6, and so on across the table. So let's go see who's the first target. It is going to be Tranich. So Tranich is hit by some boulders. He hasn't got great armor. And then it's Brodin as well. Okay. So I roll orange for me, and I roll black for the landslide. So, natural 20 for Tranich, so he's fine. And Brodin takes a hit, but his armor will keep him because that's only going to end up being a 7. His armor is 10 or 11, I think. So the landslide scares me, but doesn't do any harm. Going into round 7, I will be able to polish off this now and get off the table, I think. Well, Ranaga's brave little band seems to do quite well there, which is great. Weren't particularly challenged, actually, by those flies, and took most damage from falling over by trying to move too quickly. So we actually got 54 experience for that, which is good because it leveled everybody up. So 2 progression points for all of the companions leveled them all up, so they all gained 1 health. And it also pushed Ranaga into level 4, so he gained a new heroic ability, which I have chosen Call to Action. So once per game he can activate 1 more companion in the ranger phase, and as I'm playing solo that would mean instead of 2 companions it's 3, which might be huge sometimes when you get swarmed by people. So yeah, pretty happy with how that went. The treasure I found actually turned out to be some night knock herbs which can get rid of disease, and considering I've been mostly fighting zombies and flies, I think that might be handy. So yeah, we will move on to the next mission. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. Take care, and bye.